In our passage today in Genesis, we see a bit of a turning point in the narrative, in anticipation of something that is about to happen. It's in verse 15 after God has, told man to work the garden. This is what he says. You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat of it, you will surely die. I've had so many students, former students, and parents and kids ask me this question. Well, why did God make this tree to begin with? Why did he make the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? If God knows everything, why would he make something that he knows is going to tempt man? If he knows everything, then doesn't he know that Adam and Eve are going to choose this over him? So why not just not make it? Or why even make man at all if he knows that humanity is just going to screw everything up? These are all really good, important questions. I think every Christian that reads Scripture probably asks this question at one period of time in their life and in their faith. And it's important for us to think about it. Christians throughout the ages have discussed this idea of predestination and free will and how does this work out in the Bible. I've always liked Rob Bell's answer in his lecture called Everything is Spiritual. Is it predestination or free will? Yes. They're both in Scripture, and how they work together, we may never know until the kingdom comes, and we might not even know then. But throughout Scripture, we see that God both predestines things, that he knows things are going to happen, that he's in control, at the same time as humanity often chooses by their own free will to sin against him or to do other things. And here in this story, we see this tree that humanity is told to completely stay away from, the knowledge of good and evil. Because God knows that if they know good and evil, it's not going to be good for them, because more often than not, they're going to choose evil. And so why would he put this here? Well, I want to make a point that God doesn't want humanity to be robots. If there isn't something in the garden for Adam and Eve to choose over God, then they have no other choice but to choose him. And he wants them to choose them over everything. Throughout Scripture, he wants us to continue to pursue him above all else, to make him our only. And so he doesn't want them to be robots. He wants them to have a choice. He wants them to choose to love him. It's a dangerous love because he loves them. He's made them in his image, in his likeness. They reflect his glory. And so he's taken this thing that he cares so much about, and he's giving them a dangerous love. Parents do this. We have kids, and we love them. We have them because we want to love them, at the same time as we know that they could possibly choose one day not to love us. My son is a toddler, and there's many times that he chooses to do things against us, and yet we still have another kid. Even from that experience, it's a dangerous love. Your child can choose not to love you, but you want to love them anyways. So God knows that humanity is going to do this, but he loves them anyways. He still wants to make them. He still wants to create them, and if they show him love, he wants it to be honest and genuine. He wants them to choose him above everything.